Okay, welcome back. So in this lesson, we will be taking practical steps. I'll be showing you practical steps on how to move your website from an offline state to an online state. So in the previous video, we talked about you zip the website files, you download your database, you take them online, you create a new database, import your database, then you connect the database using your WP config file. So we'll be going through that step one by one. So the first thing is I need you guys to see my website, see what it looks like now. Good. So this is the website, the finished product, and I'll need to take this online so my users can be able to connect with it using my domain name. So the first thing to do is to download the file itself, the whole files. So please go ahead and click on the arrow in front of this link. This is how you'll be able to easily locate where these files are on your PC. So once you click on it, it should open up a folder automatically, and you go to app, then you go to public. So under public, you will find the installation here. So what we need to do now is to extract. Sorry, what we need to do now is to zip. Yes, zip. So we have a zip file here. So let me delete this so we can do that again. So we need to zip this whole installation into one, because that is the only format that your cPanel would accept. So you can just click on Ctrl A to select all, or you simply select all on your screen. So select all. Then you right click on it, right click on any of the elements and come to add to archive. For some of you, your PC may give you add to zip or something. So add to archive, then we give it a name. So I will give it a name. I'll call it the name of the website. So this is it. Then please do well, under archive format, select zip. Then you click on OK. So it will take a while and it will run the process. So you can see here it's running. So you hold on for it to be done before we move to the next step. So 78%, 90%, so it's done. So you can see your file here. So I will do well to copy. You can copy it too, or you leave this folder open, but basically I will just copy it to my desktop so I can easily pick it from my desktop. Good. So that is done. The next thing is to go back and download my database. So you click on database, then you click on open adminer. Good. So it opens in your tab, in your browser. So once that is done, you come here, your database is local, it remains local. Then you click on export. So once you are here, your output should be saved. Some of you may have open or zip. No, it should be saved. Then your format should be SQL. That is the format in which your cPanel will accept. So once this is done, you click on export. So it comes down here for you and you select the location where it should be saved to. So I will still pick my desktop and I call it local. So I'll tell it to save. So let me check. So you can see I have it here, local.sql. So this is my database and this is my files. These are my files. So next thing to do now is to go to my cPanel. So this is my cPanel. So you go to yours and you log into your cPanel. So there are different ways of logging into your cPanel based on the previous lessons and the course you have taken. You can log in either from your hosting account. If you are using listed hosting, the easiest way is to go to your listed hosting account, log in there. Once you log in, you click on services. Okay, let me just do a quick run of that. So let me log into my listed hosting account. So log in. So I'm logging in because I already have an account. So you too should have an account before you can have access to your cPanel. So I have 3 hosting accounts under this single account. So you click on any of this. So I want to access this, so you click on this. So by your right, you can see login to cPanel. So once you do this, it automatically takes you to your cPanel. That is one way. The other way is in case your client gives you access to only the cPanel, not their hosting account dashboard, they will have to give you the username and the password, which is what I have inputted here. Then I'll log in. So the login in shouldn't take time. Okay, a network issue occurred. So let me refresh. Please, your cPanel is a bit sensitive. If you have IP issues, you may find it may be hard logging in sometimes. It may log you out all the time. So here it's saying we have a network issue. So let's check my network. Okay, so the network is back. So I'm logging in. So it's telling me my IP has changed. So what I'll need to do now is to activate my VPN. So let me activate the VPN. Okay, so my VPN is activated. So I'll just log in now. Good. So I'm logged in. So the first thing we'll do now is to upload our website files, which is located here. This is it. So in order to do that, please go under Files, select File Manager. Good. So you click on public HTML. That is where the domain is pointed to, and domain is pointed to this folder. So how do I know this domain is pointed? That's because I've added this domain as an add-on domain. So by default, your primary domain, as we have explained in the previous lessons, your primary domain is connected to see your public HTML folder, which is this folder. The public HTML default folder is this. So if your domain needs to see another folder, it will be created in this format. So, but in my case, I have the public, my primary domain as this, while I have gone ahead to add an add-on domain, an extra domain name, because I want to host two websites here. So the domain name is pointed to see, you see it? So it's going to see a folder called public HTML. At the same time, it's going to see a subfolder inside public HTML called LH. So my installation must be inside LH folder, not public HTML folder. If my installation goes into public HTML folder, then this domain name will not see those files. This domain name is pointed to see any file or any website file installed or copied into the LH folder. Good. So I'll open up the LH folder, then I'll need to upload that file here and extract it here. So the next thing to do is to click on upload. Then I locate where my file is, my local file is, and command it to install. So if you have a good network, less than a minute or two, depending on the size of what you are installing, you should be done 100%. So once you're on this stage and this counter does not continue counting in terms of the upload and download level, then your network has gone. The moment it stops, you don't have network anymore. So you need to keep watching it until it gets to 100%. And on 100%, you need to have a green bar, not a blue bar. You can be on 100%. This place can tell you 100%, but at the same time, this background is blue. That means it is not properly uploaded yet. Probably the system is still scanning to your file to see if it does not have any virus. So you must have a green on every upload you perform via this format. So let's hold on while the upload is completed. Okay, so you can see that the installation is done and it's 100% green. So that's good. You can do well to close this page. And let's go back. So let's go back to this folder. We should find the installation there. Awesome. So we have it here. So the next thing to do is to unzip this file, to simply extract. So you can see it here. You right click on the icon and you click on extract. Then you click on extract file. So in less than a minute, the extraction should be done. So good. So we are good now. So please kindly click on reload here. So you have the installation there. So we have successfully moved the file from an online state, from an offline state to an online state. So we can delete this later on once we are done. So the next thing to do now is to import our database. Good. So in order for us to do that, we will need to go back to our cPanel home. So this is the cPanel. So let's go under database. So before we import the database, we'll need to create. So under database, we click on MySQL database wizard. Right, MySQL database wizard. So kindly go ahead and click. Good. So at this stage, we'll input the name of the database we'll need to create. It can be a random name, it can be anything. So I'll just call it anything. Good. So this is it. I'll do well to copy it. So this is my database name and I'll save it here. DB name. Good. So let's go back. So next step, the DB username, I'll still use the same thing. So I'll save it here again. DB username. Good. So here it's asking for password. So you can click on password generator here. So this is the password I want to use. I'll Control A to highlight it and copy it. So you have to click on I have copied the password, use password. So before I click on create user, I will need to come here and password. So you need to keep this because you'll need it while editing your WP config file. So username, database name is the same as the username. I decided to do it that way so it will be easy for me to use. You can choose to give it different names if you wish. Next thing is click on create user. I don't need this saved. So here command it to give all privileges. Then you select next step. So I've successfully created the database and it now resides in my WP, in my PHP my admin. Yeah. So the next thing to do is now to import the database from our local WP which we saved on our PC. So I'll click on this logo to go back to the home page. Then I'll go to database and click on PHP my admin. So it's going to open a new tab. Take a moment, about less than 30 seconds, and it should load. Good. So this is the database. You have to do well to click on it before you import. You have to tick it and activate it. So once you do, it will load. Good. So you have it says no database, no table found in database. So this is when you now click on import. So import brings you to a new page and click on browse. Then let's locate where it. So this is it, local.sql. So click on open, scroll down to the end of the page and click on go. So this will take a while depending on your network and depending on the size of the database. In some cases, it is very fast. So you discover that your browser will be loading on the tab. It's loading. So once it's done, this page will refresh itself and you will get a notification that says import is done successfully. So it is done. So waiting for notification. Good. So we have it. Import has been successfully finished. 119 queries executed. So now we have successfully imported our database also. So let's try and see if our website is active. So let's try. This is domain name. You see, it says error establishing database connection. And this is because we have successfully installed the files. We have imported, we have created database and imported the old database, but we have not connected the database to the file. So the next thing to do now is to come here. So let me refresh to make sure I'm still logged in. Good. So you click on WP config. So we have two there, WP config sample and WP config. So you can do well to delete this, it's not needed. That's a sample, please. So I'll right click on this and click on edit. So it gives you a notification, yes, tell you to edit. So you can see here now that database name is local, user is root, database is root. So this will not sync to the database we have created. So this is the data that is coming from the old local WP installation, which we did from here. So what we need to do now is to replace all this. So the first thing is database name. So remember I saved it up here. Database name is this, but this is not the complete format. So we will need to get the complete format. So in order to get the complete format, there should be a prefix before the database name. So the easiest way is to go back to your databases, which has been created already. Then you can find the name here. Good. So you say it, database name. So you copy it in full, not just this. It will be in full. Good. So I can simply replace it here. So this is what we should have here by default. You copy it in full. Good. So let's go back to here. So our WP config file. So under database name, you clean the local. You leave inside the columns. You leave it there. Good. You paste it there. Then same thing for the user. You paste it there. There must be no space like this in the beginning or the end. You get. So the next thing is under password. So the password which we used is this. Then you paste also. So then let's save. So once this is done, the next thing is to go back to our website to see if it's loading correctly at this moment. Okay, so let's refresh this and see what happens. So you can see that it's working, but it's redirecting me back to the local. So there's an issue. So we need to find a solution to that. So it's working now. I'm not getting an error, but it's redirecting me back. Remember, database that was imported was the one from the local WP. So the domain name used then has been transferred online. So we need to go and locate this inside our database and change it to the new domain name which it is pointing to at the moment. Okay, so we go back to our phpMyAdmin where we imported the database, and you open this up. If it's closed, you just click on the plus sign to open it up and you go to WP options. There we should find the link. So here you see site URL and home URL. So you need to change this and this. This needs to be changed and this needs to be changed, both. So let's change it. So changing it, you just put your mouse on it. Your mouse turns to a capital I icon. So you click on that space twice. So it edits automatically and you can simply change it to the domain name we would want to use. So that domain name says instead hosting.com.ng. So you can simply copy it. So once you are done typing, you have copied it, you just click on enter. Enter on your keyboard. So wait for a while, it tells you one role affected. So you go to the next line, you do the same. So I'll just Control A to highlight and paste. So enter. So now I've done this. The next thing is to go back and check. At every time you perform an update, you go back and check if it's working. So let's go back to the front end and see if this domain name is actually seeing the website at the moment. Okay, so I would paste the domain name here. Then let's see. It is possible that we may have a cached page already. Okay, so now you can see that each time I put that, it's going back to see the domain of the local WP. So the best thing to do is to either put off your VPN, try again, or probably try another browser. So let me see. Okay, let's do it this way. Let me try another browser. So let me paste the domain here. So I think that browser is already having a cached file. So this is the domain. So let's try. Good, awesome. So domain is working. So that's one way to know that the domain is working and your website is fine. Else you will just be troubleshooting and looking for what is not lost. So another way to resolve this is to type in the domain. That is, if you want the domain to call that website by force, and you type wp-admin. So Once the link gives you access to your admin, they are good. So you can see now I have access to the admin using the same details that was used in creating the account from the beginning under my local WP, if you remember. So let me do it again, WP admin. So it brings me to this page. So I will now input my username, which I have saved here from the beginning, if you remember. Then I have my password. I'll copy this and put it here. Go. So remember me, then you log in. So you can see now that the link works. I'm no longer controlled by the local WP. So in order for you to be sure that your website is connected to that live domain, you can simply click on stop site under your local WP installation. So it's stopping the site. So good. So my local installation should be offline now. So let's try again. Let me reload this. Sorry. Let me reload this live server. So let's see if it works. You see, it's a cached page, so it's going back here, but not to worry, it is working fine. So if I decide to use this WP dash admin to access my backend, you see that it works. Good. And if I also decide to use another browser, it works fine too. So let me click here and paste. So let's see. Awesome. So I have been able to move my website from the local WP to local WP offline to the cPanel, which is the online environment. So thank you and have a nice day.